Welcome back, everyone, to the channel. Today, we're delving deep into one of the most pervasive and often misleading notions in contemporary dating dynamics. It's the persistent myth that women are primarily, if not exclusively, interested in men who possess significant financial resources. This idea is echoed so frequently in various platforms that it has acquired an almost unquestioned status, seeming more like established truth than a mere assumption. However, the reality is far more nuanced. While a degree of financial stability is indeed a desirable and often practical consideration, it is unequivocally not the paramount, or even the most influential, determinant in capturing a woman's lasting affection and profound respect. The unvarnished truth reveals a different landscape. Women are intricately predisposed, through both their evolutionary history and psychological conditioning, to be captivated by attributes that reside far beneath the surface level of monetary wealth. These are qualities that speak to fundamental human needs: the assurance of security, unwavering confidence, a clear sense of purpose and trajectory, and robust emotional fortitude. What makes this reality particularly empowering is that these profound traits are not inherited privileges but are entirely within your sphere of influence to cultivate and enhance, regardless of your current circumstances or starting point in life. In this comprehensive exploration, we will uncover and dissect 6 potent, often overlooked, qualities that women intrinsically value far more deeply than financial assets. These are not superficial stratagems or temporary fixes designed for instant results. Instead, they represent authentic, deeply ingrained characteristics that emanate from your inner resilience and commitment to personal evolution. If you've ever pondered why certain men appear to effortlessly attract remarkable women without relying on overt displays of affluence or social standing, this discussion is poised to furnish you with compelling insights and tangible explanations. Therefore, we urge you to stay engaged until the very culmination of this video. Gaining a thorough understanding of these 6 pivotal traits possesses the potential to fundamentally reshape how you perceive yourself and, consequently, how women perceive you, leaving a lasting impression. Let's embark on this enlightening journey. The first quality is a high-value presence, often manifesting as biological attractiveness. There exists a specific archetype of man who commands attention without the necessity of speaking loudly or resorting to ostentatious displays. He enters a room, and the atmosphere subtly but perceptibly shifts. This phenomenon isn't attributable to expensive attire or boisterous declarations, but to something far more profound and instinctual: a natural gravitas. His very presence communicates volumes that words cannot adequately convey, and women often sense this impact on a visceral level before they can articulate the reasons behind it. It transcends mere aesthetic attraction; it is akin to a deeply rooted biological recognition. At the heart of female psychology lies a quiet yet potent, hardwired imperative to seek out qualities that signal safety, enduring strength, and unwavering stability. Evolution has meticulously sculpted women to discern and favor traits that offer the promise of survival, security, and a viable future. When a man carries himself with a quiet strength, imbued with a clear sense of purpose and a self-respect that is entirely self-contained and devoid of any need for external validation, he is not just superficially appealing, he becomes biologically magnetic. His confidence doesn't plead for acknowledgement, his composure remains unperturbed amidst flux, his direction is internally validated, not waiting for external affirmation. You are not required to be the most vociferous or the wealthiest individual present to exert this profound effect. What is essential, however, is the capacity to command genuine respect, particularly from your male peers. It is here, in the estimation and regard of others, grounded in your competence, self-possession, and reliability, that true value begins to coalesce. Being perceived as capable, respected, and internally grounded signals a primal, ancient message, that you possess the capacity to lead, to offer protection, and to remain steadfast and composed even when confronted by adversity or uncertainty. This is the subtle force that compels her to be drawn closer, often without consciously understanding the underlying reason. She might initially notice your posture, how you move with deliberate calm rather than hurried anxiety, or the tone of your voice, firm, yet inherently composed. She instinctively observes how you manage pressure and maintain your stance when others might seek to destabilize you. These nonverbal cues resonate far more powerfully than facile compliments or cleverly rehearsed pickup lines. A presence of high value doesn't pursue, it inherently attracts and draws others in. The connection it fosters is more profound than superficial appearances, reaching into something ancient and ancestral within her. There's a compelling reason why some men are remembered long after they've departed a gathering. They didn't demand attention, they earned it. Not through clamor, but through inherent stability. Not through contrived charm, but through authentic presence. In the contemporary world, saturated with fleeting images and superficial portrayals, a man who embodies quiet strength is a rarity. And that which is rare naturally becomes highly valuable. A simple, enduring truth prevails: aspire to be someone she can genuinely feel and connect with, even in moments of shared silence. When a man embodies composure, clear direction, and respect that has been legitimately earned, he transcends the need to impress anyone. He simply is. And that quality of being is the kind of presence no discerning woman readily forgets. Secondly, sociability, encompassing social proof and positive influence. There is an undeniable, quiet magnetism surrounding a man who navigates social environments with ease and genuine comfort. He doesn't feel compelled to dominate every conversation or construct an elaborate performance for attention. His mere presence is sufficient to draw others into his orbit. People around him tend to laugh and feel at ease, not because he is desperately striving for approval, but because he possesses an intuitive understanding of the social dynamics and knows how to read the room. He is adept at listening attentively, conversing with natural fluidity, and adapting swiftly to changing interactions. Even if a woman cannot precisely articulate the source of her attraction, something deep within her intuition signals that he is safe to trust and possesses a quality that makes him difficult to overlook or forget. Sociability, in this context, is not synonymous with being the loudest or the most overtly extroverted individual. Rather, it signifies being genuinely emotionally available and receptive within social contexts. A man who demonstrates the capacity to connect effortlessly and authentically with a diverse range of individuals implicitly shows that he belongs, that he is integrated into the social fabric. And, from a deeply primal perspective, women are inherently wired to recognize and value this attribute. To her, a man who is genuinely accepted and respected by his peers, his tribe, is far more than merely likable or reliable. He has undergone a fundamental social vetting process. He is someone people naturally gravitate towards, feel comfortable laughing with, and find themselves leaning on in moments of need. These indicators hold significantly more weight than superficial physical perfection or a repertoire of well-rehearsed conversational gambits. When a woman observes that you are respected and welcomed by others, it signifies far more than mere popularity. It conveys that you possess the necessary skills to navigate the complexities of social life effectively. It demonstrates that you wield positive influence, that you are not isolated, and that others genuinely enjoy your company for valid, substantial reasons. This constitutes powerful social proof. It implicitly answers one of her most profound, unspoken questions. If I place my trust in him, will I feel safe, truly understood, and genuinely valued? A man with robust, authentic social connections answers this fundamental inquiry without needing to utter a single declarative word. Cultivating this caliber of social presence demands more than superficial charm. It is fundamentally rooted in genuine communication, interaction that is real, not performative. It is reflected in your capacity to ask thoughtful questions that genuinely matter, to remember the names and personal details of those you interact with, and to make others feel truly seen and heard. It embodies the quiet confidence to lead when necessary without needing to claim credit and the genuine humility to follow and support when someone else naturally shines. Humor, too, plays a vital role, not the forced, prescripted punchline, but the spontaneous, quick wit that indicates you are fully present, intellectually alert, and dynamically engaged with the energy of the environment. You are not obligated to be the central figure at every gathering. However, if you consistently endeavor to build sincere friendships, cultivate your social network with intention, and demonstrate reliability by showing up consistently, you will naturally evolve into someone whom others instinctively trust and value. And when a woman witnesses this authenticity, she doesn't merely register your presence, she begins to believe in you on a deeper level. Because the man who earns the trust and respect of others naturally becomes the man she is genuinely curious to explore and understand more profoundly. And curiosity, it is often said, is the crucial first step towards forging something far more enduring and meaningful. Thirdly, self-confidence, which speaks to profound internal power and self-trust. Before a man articulates even a single syllable, a woman frequently perceives something intangible about him. It is discernible in his assured manner upon entering a space, the way he carries his physical form, and the steady manner in which his gaze meets hers without betraying any overt need for approval or validation. This unspoken, resonant presence is not rooted in arrogance or bluster, it is the product of deep inner alignment and self-acceptance. And few qualities draw a woman closer than encountering a man who possesses a fundamental trust in himself before ever expecting it from another individual. Genuine confidence is not measured by volume or overt dominance. It does not crave external attention for its sustenance. It is the profound calm that persists amidst external turbulence. It is a deep-seated certainty that requires no external validation to confirm its existence. A woman intuitively senses this quality when your voice maintains a steady tone even under duress, when your decisions are arrived at with clarity and conviction, and when you feel no compulsion to prove your identity because you possess an inherent, profound understanding of who you are. It is present in the deliberate pause you take before speaking and in your capacity to listen with genuine patience, rather than merely waiting for your turn to perform or interject for attention. What renders this energy so compellingly magnetic is that it offers something increasingly rare and vital in the modern world, a deep sense of safety. This safety extends beyond mere physical security. It provides fundamental emotional grounding. A woman can truly relax and be herself in the presence of a man who is not easily destabilized or perturbed, because his steadiness signals that she will not be required to shoulder the entire emotional burden or maintain control of every situation. This sense of balance, stability, and unshakable inner calm is frequently precisely what she is seeking, even if she cannot articulate this need in explicit terms. Becoming this kind of man is not about cultivating a facade of being unaffected or indifferent. It is fundamentally about diligently building a profound and reliable trust with yourself. This journey commences in the quiet privacy of your own being, by setting small, manageable goals and consistently honoring the commitments you make to yourself. Your self-trust is fortified each time you consciously choose a thoughtful, measured response over an impulsive, reactive outburst. And this trust deepens significantly when you relinquish the need for external noise, validation, or constant activity to feel important, learning instead to find genuine contentment and value in your own company and internal landscape. Emotional independence, in this context, does not imply a lack of care or empathy for others. It signifies that you are internally complete and self-sufficient before anyone else enters your life or provides validation. Women are not inherently drawn to unattainable perfection. They are profoundly drawn to authentic presence, a man who walks with deliberate steps rather than rushing aimlessly, makes decisions with conviction rather than being paralyzed by fear, and stands firmly on his own ground without requiring external applause or affirmation. In a world replete with incessant distractions and external noise, such a man becomes a rare sanctuary of stillness. And it is within that space of stillness that genuine, enduring trust is born. There is a simple, powerful truth here: when you possess unwavering belief and trust in yourself, she will have no need to question your capacity or integrity. Confidence is not a performance you put on for others, it is a fundamental way of being that you live out authentically. And when it is real and deeply rooted, she will sense it on an intuitive level long before you ever feel the need to explicitly prove it. Furthermore, the fourth quality is leadership, encompassing grand discovery, a clear sense of direction, and decisive decision-making ability. Within the dynamic of every relationship, there exists a subtle, often unspoken rhythm. When a man possesses the knowledge and capacity to lead effectively, this rhythm flows harmoniously and naturally. Conversely, when he hesitates, is indecisive, or lacks direction, this vital rhythm falters and becomes discordant. Leadership within the context of a personal connection is not about dominance, control, or authoritarianism. Its essence lies in providing clear, purposeful direction. It is about a man's capacity to calmly and confidently step forward and chart a course when circumstances surrounding him feel uncertain, ambiguous, or even chaotic. For a significant number of women, this quality of quiet, assured strength and leadership provides the necessary emotional safety and space for them to fully relax and comfortably embody their own femininity. This is not to diminish her independence or capabilities. She may be inherently independent, highly capable, and successful in her own right. However, in her most profound and intimate moments, she often yearns for a partner who can genuinely share the weight of life's burdens, who can make decisions with clear intent and purpose, and who moves through the world with an inner certainty. She does not desire someone to usurp control of her life or make decisions for her, but rather someone who possesses a clear vision of where he is heading and is not apprehensive about inviting her to join him on that journey. This attribute is often discernible in the subtle nuances of daily interaction. It's evident when he confidently selects a restaurant for a date without resorting to the indecisive query, "I don't know, what do you want?" It's demonstrated when he proactively plans the details of a day or an outing without passively waiting for her to dictate every element. It's shown when he intuitively senses a shift in her mood or emotional state and addresses it with sensitivity and presence, rather than opting to ignore or avoid it. These actions may appear minor on the surface, but they are deeply revealing indicators of a man's more profound underlying qualities, his capacity to hold the moment, to take initiative, and to navigate uncertainty without succumbing to fear. Leadership fundamentally originates in the crucible of daily life, not solely in grand, performative gestures. It is cultivated through the consistent practice of gentle assertiveness and decisiveness in the quiet, often unnoticed, corners of each day. It involves articulating what you genuinely desire, standing firmly by your commitments and word, choosing a direction and course of action, and making adjustments only when truly necessary for improvement or ethical considerations, not merely to appease or seek approval. A woman typically feels most emotionally at ease and secure when she senses that you are not afraid to carry the weight and responsibility of the moment, particularly when she herself is fatigued from consistently bearing so many burdens alone. There is a simple yet powerful truth underpinning her desire to feel effectively led. A woman finds it exceptionally challenging to fully soften, relax, and open up amidst pervasive uncertainty and indecision. If you consistently hesitate or abdicate the responsibility of setting direction, she will instinctively step in to fill that void, not necessarily because she desires to, but because she perceives it as necessary. However, if you lead with a steady hand, clear purpose, and unwavering presence, she will naturally find herself leaning into your strength, not merely because you are capable, but because your leadership makes her feel profoundly safe and secure. And this sense of safety is not generated by fleeting promises or eloquent explanations. It is forged through consistent action, through demonstrated direction, and through a tangible presence that does not waver or collapse when difficult decisions are required or when pressure mounts. In that secure space created by your leadership, she is not compelled to remain perpetually on guard. She doesn't have to constantly manage, correct, or guide the dynamic. She is free to simply be. And that authentic state of being is precisely what draws her closer, time and time again. It's not about achieving unattainable perfection, but about embodying presence fused with clear, intentional purpose. The fifth essential quality is purpose, signifying a life mission and a compelling long-term vision. There is an undeniable, deep-seated magnetism associated with a man who possesses a crystal-clear sense of direction and a compelling mission in life. This appeal is not contingent upon the monetary success he achieves or the number of people he attracts. It is fundamentally rooted in the significant mission he is earnestly pursuing. A man imbued with a profound sense of purpose possesses a compelling reason to rise each morning that transcends the mere pursuit of fleeting pleasures or superficial gratifications. Women are instinctively drawn to this quality, often without fully comprehending the depth of its appeal. It is the inherent depth, the tenacious drive, and the unwavering conviction that life is intended to be something far more substantial and meaningful than merely occupying space or idly passing time. When a man possesses a truly compelling rationale for his existence, a life mission that extends and stretches far beyond the confines of the mundane and the everyday, he distinguishes himself in a profound manner. He is not merely existing or filling space within the world, he is actively and intentionally carving out his unique, irreplaceable place within it. This sense of overriding purpose furnishes him with clear direction and imbues every action he undertakes with a profound sense of intention and significance. It is reflected in the passionate manner in which he articulates his dreams and aspirations, the resilient way he confronts and navigates obstacles and setbacks, and the determined way he carries himself in his daily interactions. The ambition and focused drive that naturally accompany possessing a clear, compelling vision for the future generate an undeniably attractive and potent energy. However, it is insufficient merely to want something in a vague sense. True, compelling purpose necessitates profound clarity and intentionality. It is fundamentally about discerning precisely what you aspire to achieve and contribute over the long term and pursuing that objective with unwavering dedication, even when the pathway forward is fraught with difficulties, uncertainties, or requires significant sacrifice. Absent this guiding vision, men often find themselves drifting aimlessly from one transient distraction to another, never truly anchoring themselves in meaningful pursuits. But when a man courageously sets ambitious yet genuinely meaningful goals aligned with his core values, his life acquires a power and resonance that naturally draws people, including women, towards him. Women are naturally drawn to men who are not simply surviving the demands of life but are actively and purposefully thriving, men who are pursuing something that feels demonstrably larger and more significant than their personal, individual success alone. The cultivation of this profound sense of purpose begins with engaging in the hard, often uncomfortable, process of self-reflection and asking the fundamental questions. What do you genuinely aspire for your legacy to be? What are the principles, values, and contributions that matter most deeply to you? These are the essential foundations upon which you can construct truly meaningful, long-term goals. This journey is ultimately about imbuing your life with profound meaning and significance that extends far beyond mere personal comfort or convenience. Comfort, while pleasant, rarely catalyzes significant change in the world or within oneself. Purpose, however, possesses the power to transform. A life actively guided and driven by a compelling purpose is inherently a life that inspires others. When you consciously choose to live with intention, purpose, and clear direction, you naturally evolve into the kind of man whom others instinctively desire to follow, and consequently, a man to whom women are powerfully and magnetically drawn. Purpose is not merely a checklist of goals to be achieved. It is the very soul and animating spirit of a man who is willing to make genuine sacrifices and invest significant effort for the sake of something demonstrably greater than himself. And that caliber of man is the kind who leaves a truly indelible and lasting impression on the world and on the lives he touches. Sixth, and finally, emotional stability, characterized by profound calmness and unwavering self-control. In a world that frequently feels chaotic, unpredictable, and overwhelming, the capacity to maintain one's composure and remain fundamentally calm stands out as one of a man's most profoundly attractive and reassuring qualities. This attribute transcends merely keeping your temper in check during moments of overt tension or conflict. It signifies a deep level of emotional maturity, the cultivated ability to consciously regulate your responses and reactions, and to remain fundamentally composed, grounded, and even-keeled when life inevitably deviates from expectations or throws unexpected challenges your way. For women, this deeply ingrained sense of emotional stability is not just comforting, it is often experienced as fundamentally essential for building trust and intimacy. They feel a profound sense of safety and security in the presence of men who are emotionally grounded, who do not permit their internal feelings or external circumstances to dictate their behavior or impulsively derail the course of a conversation or interaction. Emotional regulation, in this context, is far more comprehensive than simply avoiding angry outbursts or remaining passively silent during a disagreement. It is about actively cultivating and maintaining a psychological and emotional space where others feel genuinely heard, understood, and respected, even when navigating the complexities and discomforts of conflict or misunderstanding. When a man possesses the capacity to hold his emotions thoughtfully in check, to process them internally, and to respond to situations with measured consideration and clarity rather than reacting reflexively or impulsively, it builds an essential foundation of psychological safety within the relationship dynamic. Women instinctively desire to know that their partner will remain a reliable and steady anchor when the challenges of life inevitably become difficult, when misunderstandings unfortunately arise, or when emotions and tempers naturally flare. It is precisely within this demonstrated steadiness and reliability that a genuine, enduring, and resilient connection is authentically forged. Cultivating this level of emotional stability requires consistent, dedicated practice and self-awareness. It is inextricably linked to developing a robust and resilient sense of self through consistent mindfulness practices, honest self-reflection, and intentional inner work. The deeper your understanding of your own internal landscape, your thoughts, triggers, and emotional patterns, the better equipped you become to effectively manage and regulate your emotional responses in constructive ways. Stoicism, a venerable philosophy emphasizing the acceptance of circumstances beyond one's control and cultivating the capacity to respond to life's exigencies with clarity, reason, and virtue rather than being overwhelmed by impulsive emotion, can serve as an extraordinarily powerful and practical tool in building this stability. As Epictetus wisely advised, we are disturbed not by things, but by the views we take of them. By internalizing this principle, one learns to challenge the often irrational judgments that give rise to negative emotions and instead focus on what is within one's power, one's thoughts, intentions, and actions. The Stoic practice of premeditation of evils, premeditatio malorum, mentally preparing oneself for potential difficulties or setbacks, can significantly reduce the emotional shock when challenges, such as rejection or a heated argument, actually occur. The cultivated ability to pause, to take a measured breath, and to consciously choose a calm, reasoned response over an immediate, unthinking reactivity is an invaluable asset in navigating complex interactions and maintaining emotional equilibrium. Consistency is also absolutely paramount. Emotional stability is not a singular achievement to be attained and then forgotten. It is a continuous process and a cultivated habit. It involves striving to show up with the same level-headedness and composure each day, responding to life's myriad challenges and interpersonal dynamics with a consistently thoughtful and measured approach. Over time, as you consistently practice this deliberate self-regulation, your reactions will become inherently more measured, reasoned, and reflective, less swayed by transient emotional tides. And this demonstrated consistency is foundational in building deep, abiding trust. It is not solely about how you handle the monumental moments of crisis, it is equally, if not more, about the small, seemingly insignificant, everyday decisions and interactions that showcase your unwavering ability to remain fundamentally grounded and composed. As much as women often crave deep emotional connection and intimacy, they also possess a fundamental need for reliable stability and unwavering predictability in their partner's emotional state. They need the reassurance that they can depend on you to be a steady presence, much like they can depend on their own inner fortitude. When a man embodies this quality of consistent emotional steadiness, it creates an indispensable, secure foundation upon which both partners can confidently grow, foster profound trust, and genuinely thrive together. A calm and reliably consistent emotional presence in a world that is perpetually shifting and uncertain can serve as an anchor, stabilizing everything else in place. Transitioning to the strategy of self-improvement, when considering the art of attracting the kind of woman you genuinely desire and cultivating connections that possess the potential for true longevity and depth, the ongoing pursuit of self-improvement is not merely an optional endeavor, it is an absolute necessity, a fundamental prerequisite. It is a common pitfall to erroneously believe that acquiring a flawless physical appearance, wearing the most fashionable attire, or projecting a flashy, opulent lifestyle will automatically distinguish you and secure the desired attention. However, these attributes are inherently superficial, residing solely on the surface layer of who you are. Authentic, deep-seated attraction emanates from the profound qualities you have diligently cultivated and built within yourself. The very cornerstone of becoming a truly high-value individual is not centered on the pursuit of an unattainable ideal of perfection. Rather, it is rooted in the continuous, conscious effort to evolve into the most robust and virtuous version of yourself possible. And this transformative process fundamentally commences with the dedicated development of qualities that eloquently speak to your inherent independence, disciplined habits, and resilient confidence. Enhancing your financial capability is not about accumulating wealth solely for the purpose of ostentatious display or proving your worth to others. It is intrinsically linked to achieving a state of genuine independence, self-sufficiency, and demonstrating capability. It represents the tangible ability to effectively navigate life's practical challenges and to create a stable, reliable foundation for your life and the lives of those you care about. Financial security, in this context, signals that you are responsible, possess foresight, and exert capable control over your personal world and circumstances. Women are naturally drawn to men who demonstrate the capacity to stand independently on their own 2 feet and to navigate life's inevitable hurdles with both confident self-assurance and practical competence. Physical fitness represents another domain that speaks volumes about your character and commitment. It is not merely about achieving a particular aesthetic ideal. It is a powerful demonstration of your discipline, your commitment to your health, and your dedication to self-care. A consistent and disciplined fitness regimen communicates that you prioritize the well-being of your physical form and understand the crucial importance of maintaining robust health and vitality. The profound confidence that naturally accompanies feeling physically strong, capable, and energetic is intrinsically magnetic. It signals that you value yourself and your overall well-being, which in turn encourages others to value you in kind. Upgrading your personal style and grooming habits does not necessitate becoming a high-fashion expert or slavishly following ephemeral trends. Instead, it signifies a fundamental level of self-respect and presents yourself in a manner that authentically reflects the individual you are becoming and the trajectory you are pursuing. Good grooming is a clear indicator of self-awareness, attention to detail, and personal discipline. It demonstrates that you take pride in your appearance and conscientiously care about making a positive and considered impression, qualities that women invariably notice and deeply appreciate. However, the cultivation of these external and semi-external attributes holds significantly less weight if you have not honed the fundamental ability to communicate effectively and authentically. Communication skills are, arguably, among the most powerful and essential tools for building truly meaningful, deep, and lasting human connections. A man who possesses the capacity to articulate himself with clarity and sincerity, to listen attentively and empathetically to others, and to engage in substantive, meaningful conversation is immeasurably more attractive and compelling than someone who lacks this vital capability. Effective communication inherently enhances your sociability, cultivates a palpable sense of connection and understanding with others, and simultaneously bolsters your self-confidence. It is the fundamental capacity to make a woman feel genuinely heard, deeply understood, and truly seen, a quality that no amount of money or superficial appearance can ever authentically replicate or replace. Learning to lead effectively, not exclusively within professional contexts but within conversations, relationships, and the broader scope of your life, is yet another foundational component of becoming a truly high-value individual. Women are naturally drawn to men who demonstrate initiative, possess a clear sense of direction, and are willing to take responsibility. Leading with integrity, genuine kindness, and thoughtful intelligence demonstrates that you are capable, trustworthy, and possess an inspiring quality. It cultivates an environment where others, particularly women, can feel safe, genuinely supported, and inspired to follow your lead and contribute positively to the shared journey. Ultimately, you do not require an idealized physical appearance or a conspicuously luxurious lifestyle to attract the right kind of woman and build meaningful connections. What you unequivocally do require is authentic self-confidence, genuine sociability, and consistent enactment of high-value behaviors rooted in inner strength and purpose. These are the fundamental attributes that activate a deep, instinctual, and truly biological attraction in women. They are naturally drawn to men who can stand confidently and comfortably in their own skin, who approach life with evident purpose and intentionality, and who possess a clear, unwavering sense of direction for their lives. It is not about striving for an unattainable state of perfection. It is fundamentally about the continuous, transformative process of growth and evolution. And when you commit yourself wholeheartedly to the journey of becoming the best possible version of yourself, a man of virtue, resilience, and purpose, you not only attract the caliber of woman who aligns with your values but also establish the robust foundation necessary for a truly lasting, profound, and deeply meaningful connection. The prevalent idea that women are solely concerned with a man's financial standing is not merely an outdated concept, it is fundamentally and profoundly misleading. While financial stability certainly plays a relevant, practical role in the tapestry of life and relationships, what genuinely captures a discerning woman's sustained attention and earns her enduring respect are qualities deeply rooted in our shared biology, intricate psychology, and sophisticated emotional intelligence. Confidence born of self-trust, purposeful leadership, positive social influence, a compelling life mission, and unshakable emotional stability, these are the intrinsic qualities that resonate with far greater depth and impact than any monetary sum could ever hope to achieve. Women are instinctively, almost primally, drawn to men who embody strength without resorting to aggression, who possess direction devoid of arrogance, and whose presence commands respect without betraying desperation or neediness. It is crucial to understand that these are not innate characteristics bestowed upon you at birth. They are, instead, sophisticated skills and fundamental ways of being that you can meticulously cultivate and enhance through consistent, dedicated self-work, intentional living, and a commitment to personal growth. As you diligently build and refine these profound qualities within yourself, you transcend merely being attractive, you become authentically magnetic, a gravitational force drawing positive interactions and meaningful connections into your life. So, internalize this vital understanding. You do not need an idealized physical appearance or a lifestyle defined by luxury to create deep attraction. What you need is authentic presence. You need compelling purpose. You need to commit yourself to the continuous process of growing into the kind of man who naturally commands genuine respect simply by virtue of who he is, without needing to utter a single word to assert it. This process of profound self-improvement takes time, dedication, and perseverance, but each conscious step you take along this path contributes to making you more grounded, more genuinely respected, and more deeply desired on a fundamental level. Now, I am genuinely eager to hear your perspectives and insights. What is one specific trait discussed in this video that you are currently actively focusing on developing or strengthening within yourself? And how has your commitment to cultivating this quality impacted your interpersonal relationships and your interactions with others? Please share your valuable experiences and reflections in the comments section below. And if this video has provided you with a fresh perspective or valuable insights, please consider showing your support by liking the video, subscribing to the channel for future content, and activating the notification bell so you won't miss out on more potent insights regarding attraction, self-mastery, and the journey of becoming a truly high-value individual. I look forward to engaging with you in the comments and seeing you in the next video.